Nope.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Not gonna do it. Greetings. Cheers.
Skull.
L'chaim. Skull. Viking, Hebrew. Cheers. Where is the origin of cheers?
Cheers.
Sabbath blessings. Happy Friday. Happy Sabbath Eve.
We want to go
Brother J.
where
Spence.
everybody knows your name.
Reverend Chris. And they're always magic came. And hit that drum. Bum, bum, bum. You wanna go where people know.
Where everybody knows your
Temples
name.
are all the same. You fucked it up, Chris.
We want to go where everybody knows your name.
Wow, what an interesting video this is already.
You know what will
I'm
make
talking
it
about the
more
Sabbath and I'm
interesting?
cursing and saying, "Oh, that's effed up." Fucked up. Man, these guys are smoking. These guys are sinners. Blasphemers. They're
He's not talking about us. Sorry.
But
He's
not
talking
really.
about someone else.
Not really.
We're
We're good people. We're not
we're
not sinning right now because we're
gentlemen.
having some
Just
meditation.
step back, hanging out, and having a good time. Nothing wrong with that.
That's not a sin.
We work all day.
It's not a sin.
Work all night. I don't know if we work all night, but we definitely work all day. So, like, it's good enough for us to sit back and have an enjoyable moment. You know?
Exactly. As we were talking about upstairs about 30 minutes ago, we were talking about the Nibiru. So we were talking about planet Nibiru. Tonight is the Sabbath Eve, aka Friday night, February the 26th. Is that right?
Yes.
2021. Is that right?
Yes.
2021. Okay.
So apparently the latest news from what I've ever heard of the so-called planet Nibiru is the outer planets like Saturn, what's the other planet? Neptune and what's the gas giant?
Jupiter.
Jupiter.
The king.
Yeah, the king gas giant planet are having weird gravitational pulls, and NASA claims that
Reverend Chris Jones speaking.
those pulls don't naturally come from natural shit. They usually come from another body system pulling off them usually, but they have no proof. They have no visual proof of anything pulling off these planets. So it's like they've been looking for his planet, but no visual prospect of it. They say it could went in its 3,606 some year orbit, and then came back to complete annihilation in another system, and just never returned. Like at this point, it's overdue for that planet to return, but yet it's not here. So people have claimed that they've taken pictures of the sky and the planets appeared on the camera, but that would not be the case because if the planet was that close to the Earth, we would be having way more catastrophic events going on. So,
Right. So
yep, that concludes,
everything in the cosmos is in perfect alignment.
Yeah. Yes.
And structure.
Yes.
And
yeah, but there's also new science that prove that the universe is expanding, like constantly expanding, big time. Like it keeps going out, that means like planets and whatnot are expanding further and further away and all that. So
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Big Bang, right? Have you heard of the Big Bounce theory?
big bounce theory.
The Big Bang starts, its origin is compressed, and it's like the whole, what we know is our uni- universe, not just our galaxy or planet Earth, but our whole universe got sucked into a vacuum, a vacated space within a separate dimension. That's what we know as outer space. Because there's multiple, as scientists have proven, there are multiple universes all throughout existence. So about Nibiru. Now, what is the planet Nibiru? Is that like an alien planet, or is that you said that, something about the Anunnaki earlier?
Well, it's believed in the ancient Aztec religion and all that. It's not 100% proven, of course, because nobody knows that shit. But they say that when the Nibiru came around in the ancient world, ancient times, like during the Aztecs, like they say Nibiru was around during the time when Earth was first formed, but it came around where its moon was so close to the original Earth, but bashed right into it, and formed like formed an extra thing that was moon to the new Earth, apparently, and then went on elliptical orbit and came back around during a certain time where the ancient Egyptians and Aztecs and all that apparently were like there were a bunch of like lizard gods and all that came from sky and all that taught
Like the
humanity.
reptoids?
It could be reptoids or snake beings or whatever
Whoa.
that
Say that
came
again. What type of beings?
like reptoids or snake
Snake
beings.
beings, huh?
Yeah, that came from the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, that came from the sky and taught humanity.
Keep going, son.
Yeah, taught humanity how to farm, how to do all kinds of modern day civilization stuff that we even do now today and all that. Like,
Ooh.
yep, it's just
Keep going.
there's proof in the pudding. Right there is,
Proving the pudding.
yep.
So what about the
That could
what about this, man? Twin Towers
started off a big thing. Oh, I remember that.
versus yeah.
I remember that very well. Bush had
Jet fuel. That's a good one.
he had every bit to do with that.
I mean,
he had every bit to do with that.
So are we
Like,
conspiracy theorists,
I
as
wouldn't
Pam said?
I wouldn't say that.
Or are we just
like
having fun with it? We just getting high, just
right.
are we just talking a bunch of random shit?
Well, from what I
Do we
heard,
know what we're talking about?
from what I heard during that time,
You know what
Bin
you're talking about.
Laden's family was in the White House during that time when it happened. And the moment it happened, they rushed to get his family out of the White House and fly him back to Afghanistan. Like, I remember hearing about that and whatnot. It's like, why did he have an urgency to rush the family out of Afghanistan? Because he was in a guilty contribution towards what happened. Period. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, aren't they all affiliated with each other?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
like the
follow
Bin
Alex Jones.
Ladens.
I'm not an Alex.
The Bin Ladens
I'm not an Alex
and
Jones
the
follower
Bushes
necessarily.
are great friends, believe it or not.
With the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas,
Yeah. I feel like a lot of
the
those
Bidens.
names connect with the Illuminati. They are just like they some reason are all part of one big ass group together and they meet up.
I believe that is true. What about Trump though? Isn't he with them too?
I don't know if Trump
But
is
the pitch is that he's separate from them.
right.
I get it.
I
I get it. I know. I don't vote, by the way.
Trump rolls in
I don't
some
vote. I don't
money.
do politics.
Trump rolls in some money. That's where you question though. Like a lot of those elitists run into some money, but yet a lot of those elitists also worship a weird freaking god and stuff in the long run. So you got to question Trump, but it's like
A weird freaking god, like what, Molech? Or
like the owl gods.
I shouldn't be like, or Lilith. I should be mentioning these other so-called gods.
From what I heard,
on the
George
Sabbath,
Bush,
Shabbat Shalom, Sabbath, but you know what I mean. We're not praising
Bush
them. We're
was
just
in this secret society called Skull and Bones,
skull and bones.
and
Yep.
they worshipped a weird god or something up in that secret society as well.
Right, Baphomet or Molech or like Ishtar, or Semiramis or like some kind of Odin. And like Odin, there's a connection because we've been talking about the Vikings, and you can watch Vikings on Hulu. You've pretty much finished the whole season.
Yep. I'm ready to go on a full-fledged Viking raid myself now. I am.
He's gonna slaughter everybody, but he's gonna spare me. I'm gonna be like his pet priest.
I'm only going to spare the ones
he respects my zeal and my faith. I must be the remnant that's spared from the wrath of God. Because the wrath of the true living God would have to use these other demigods, like who are so-called mighty ones. These idols, these false gods that are fallen Satan, Satan.
There are the giants that used to
God uses them as His judgment. I've heard about the giants. Go back to the Anunnaki and the planet Nibiru and the Nephilim. It's really the Nephilim if you go into like the biblical, go into the Hebrew scriptures or like
are apparently
the Torah.
Sons of gods, and they're like half giants apparently.
You know about this stuff? It's in the Bible. Man. So,
that's why the movie Noah tried to incorporate weird ass stone.
That shit was kind of weird though, but it was cool.
Yeah,
There was a lot of real cool things about that movie, as far as special effects and like the fighting sequences, and they made Noah to be a badass, which I'm sure he was a badass.
I don't agree on the giants being made of stone.
No, that wasn't in the Bible. They did you not talk about this back in Millermont days?
I think so. But they did go in the alright general direction though. It's like, well, they did their best, but yet every time they were defeated, they were just kind of like struck down. Like their lives were completed after that.
Yeah.
But they never mentioned that in the Bible.
No, I don't remember reading in Genesis.
No, when they made the ark about giants,
I don't know where
them from
these scriptures. I don't know anything where it says about the watchers or the good angels, so-called good angels. We're not good angels in this movie, but the so-called good angels manifesting into like rocks, like rock giants, helping. Now, the great prophet Noah, according to the scripture, he could have had some aid from angels, right? He could have had some kind of divine help. I don't think they were rock gods.
No,
The big
definitely
giants.
not.
That symbolizes like the fallen angels. So yeah.
He probably did have some type of intervention during that time to help him like get away from his confrontation during the time. But I really highly doubtful they're a bunch of rock golems like as they appeared in the movie. I mean, even in um Moses river split where you had the
Oh, the Red Sea.
Red Sea split.
Yes.
In the Red
We
Sea
just
split.
we just went over that just in the past couple of weeks for the Torah portions. And by the way, this past week it's already Sabbath Eve, so-called Friday evening. I haven't made any videos this week. I had to study for my written driver's test, and I passed.
Right on. It's a good accomplishment.
I pretty much aced that test, but I missed one question. You know which one? Let me ask you. What do you do on the scene of a car wreck or an accident?
On an accident?
Do you A, blah, blah, blah? Do you B, wait around for law enforcement to show up as long as possible? C, leave a note? D, go to Disney World or something. So
You're supposed to report it right off.
Yeah, the answer was leave a note.
Leave a note, really?
According to man's law, not God's law, not God or Jah's law, but man's law. You're supposed to leave a fucking note.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's good that if you're going to work and you got a little car fender bender, somebody hits your car and you got to
Put
go
a
to
note
work.
on there.
Here's my phone number,
info.
driver's license number. Yeah, that's good, but like you would think first and foremost contact
Oh yeah.
the law enforcement, call the police, wait around. I mean, so I pretty much aced the test.
Right on. Hey, you're excited to be able to drive again soon.
Now I have to take the road test in Covington on Monday because of these COVID times in Babylon. Listening to some Bob Marley, and I don't think you guys probably can't hear Bob Marley in the background on this video because the microphone is real shitty.
Marley Bob playing in the background.
Got the dreadlocks in the Babylon. But in Babylon, in COVID, these COVID-19 times of this whole pandemic. Am I bad for saying pandemic? Pandemic, yeah.
Sounds like funnier way of saying pandemic.
I mean, there obviously is some pestilence out here, and some viruses and stuff. Don't you agree?
I do agree.
No.
There's
But it's
all
like
kinds
everything.
of pestilence.
But
Isn't COVID-19 a great pestilence right now?
Yeah, it's what's judgment? It's part of Yah's judgment, God's judgment upon the earth.
It's not the only thing
Last
going
days.
around right now, though.
AIDS.
I heard that
Herpes.
COVID has mutated to a certain point. There was a certain case that was reported in North Carolina like a couple months ago. But considering it's getting past some winter months and stuff like that, we're gonna start seeing less shit like that. Period. Like during the cold months, apparently the virus spreads around more, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Because people are concerned it'll be warmer and stuff like that. Less people will start getting it. But we'll see. They've done come up with vaccine for the virus and all that.
Well,
Vaccine for the virus and all that. So
How do you feel
We'll
about the
sit back
vaccine?
and watch. I mean, I'm gonna sit back and watch everybody else get it before I get it. Period.
That's it, brother.
That's just all there is to
Just
it.
don't be so quick. We don't need to get into the debating because that's kind of what the powers that be want. That's what the system
Oh, yeah.
wants. That's what the talking about aliens and the Anunnaki and the fallen ones and the Nephilim and all these, that whole serpent seed.
Oh yeah.
That whole serpent seed that's kind of intertwined with
I watched
mankind.
YouTube videos of them digging up
the aliens amongst us. The demons amongst us.
I saw YouTube videos about them digging up
Is this still burning, bro?
Yeah, recent giant graves of giants, pretty much like over in Scandinavia and different areas like that over in Europe. Like just relics that were found that led to their graves. And some would say that, like, them being even preserved up to the point where that if they opened their caskets, they'd probably come back to life, pretty much. Like, it's pretty nuts, like, from what I've read about it. But who knows? Like, you read about stuff and they say, don't believe what you read, It's all up to what you believe in, really. That's what I've read. I'll leave that up to you.
Well, yeah, man. She talks about the Watchers, Genesis.
Watchers.
And you have the Book of Enoch. Talks about that kind of missing
I bet
link
the Watchers of the
Genesis.
I bet the Watchers of the Gray Aliens. How much you want to bet on that?
You think the Watchers of the Gray Alien? What about Vishnu? What about Molech? What about Zeus? What about Thor? What about Odin?
I heard about
Aren't they all fallen ones?
not race of aliens that are blonde, all blonde species, like all of them. I forget.
The Aryan, the Nordic.
Nordic beings.
They're tall white space aliens.
Yeah, like I heard about them. Like I bet if Thor does exist, he's amongst those people pretty much. Like, but if not, then there has to be a similar being amongst them where he's close enough. It could be probably go by a different name, but probably it still would be like with them. But from what I heard a long time ago, their species appeared to get the United States to withdraw from their what do you call it, radioactive missile program.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the radioactive missile program.
Well, in the past couple of days, from the mainstream news, I hear about strikes in Syria. If you look at Syria, it talks about the scriptures from the Bible. Mount Hermon, it's like the Stargate. The fallen ones came, the fallen angels and the Nephilim, and we see prophetically in Ezekiel 37 or Ezekiel chapter 38. It talks about the war of Gog and Magog, Persia, that connection with Iran, striking daughter Babylon, which is America. Just today or yesterday, it was U.S. strikes at some kind of Iranian air base or something, like Syria.
Oh, I heard about that.
Babylon's fallen, man. So that means God's
I heard
kingdom.
about U.S. attacking Syria.
God's kingdom is returning. He's about to come to the final judgment. Now, What is this whole vaccine? Why do you feel about the vaccines, bro?
Right.
Should we, like you said, we should kind of
I'm trying to figure out why they randomly decided to attack Syria and not even get a full
let's focus on Syria
full-
right now. Forget the vaccine.
That's what I'm
Why?
saying, dude. Like it is a bad idea to get Biden as president. We should have kept Trump. Trump was fully aware of what he was doing. Like people probably will be mad at me for saying this and all that, and all that.
I mean, yeah, but you have a lot of people that support you,
Yeah,
side with you.
on that part,
That's why I don't deal with politics.
right?
I keep it very neutral when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
Politics. But
The guy had his
I see
own
what you're
money.
saying, though.
He
I do.
did it. He did not care about what he got paid and all that. He had his own money already, so he was trying to make America like great as far as like keep stuff down, like gas prices
Oh yeah.
and all that.
I mean,
Like he had
look.
to go on it, but from what he said out of his mouth, people couldn't take a joke. People thought he was racist. People, yeah, all that. Like they just couldn't take it. Like some uh people out there, it was just a nightmare just to have him around. But after it was said and done, boom, he's out. Everybody could breathe again. But yet, our gas prices now are even higher than what they were when Trump were in office. So it's like don't look at. I mean, I'm not going to say or complain about gas prices, I guess, because they go up every now and then. But you have a constant go up in gas prices and stuff. And our president really ain't doing that great.
Yeah. All these executive orders that Biden, you know, and
His
like
son is like, wait.
we're still waiting for a stimulus, man. Now, one thing, the only real good thing that I support, or that I side with a lot of Democrats, is legalization of this stuff we're smoking right now. I mean, that's a good thing.
We're around the corner from it,
So,
apparently.
man, we gotta side with that.
Someone told me that the
I'm not a Democrat or
Virginia Senate decided to legalize it fully, but somebody was telling me about it. And it's like I think they're really waiting for the full federal effect to really legalize it. Like they'll legalize it on the state level, but it won't be fully legalized on the federal level.
yeah, it's gonna take a little while. It's kind of like divide and conquer, you know. It's all that, man. It's it's lack of gnosis, or lack of knowledge of foundation of God's word, the Torah, commandments. So with lack of knowledge, as it says, a lot of the prophets, Prophet Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So that's if they can create politics and say, well, you don't know the actual command. If you don't know the commandments of God according to what the Bible actually says, then we got Democrats over here, Republicans. So one side is going to like support abortion, kill babies. The other side is going to be racist and neglect black people and Native Indians and the whole pipeline. They're going to like, and you gotta pick what you think is a lesser of two evils. So I think David Icke talks about that, in his books. These people, man, they manipulate the system. The reptilians, man, they manipulate everything. It's Satan's kingdom, and that's what it says in the Bible, like Romans 12:2. Like, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be set apart. That means you can't politics keep you in this like circle. You look into like men. I'm gonna side with this man. You don't look into God. You look into man. It becomes an idol, distraction, and the reptoids. The reptoids are manipulative. You know, they're very snakish, crafty.
Dude, they are. They're like
I mean,
people that
brother.
weasel their way into the civilization.
Yeah.
People not knowing it. Next thing you know, they're in control of everything in the world. Politics, everything. Makes me think of Star Wars.
The Empire, right?
Yeah.
Emperor Palpatine pretended to be. He pretended to be the Senator Palpatine, right? He thought he was a good guy. He thought he was Joe Biden. He thought he was. I'll skip Trump. He thought he was George Bush.
Right.
I'll skip Trump for now. Next time I'm gonna throw Trump under the bus like the rest of them. Well, I'll say this: you think George Bush? If you were a Republican, you thought George Bush was a good president. Oh, he's a good old Christian president. And all these Republicans claim to be anti-abortion, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they serve 1 term or 2 terms. After 8 years, that shit's still legal. Women are still getting abortions, and babies are dying. Yeah, nothing changes, man. Nothing ever changes. So they're trying to distract you with this like Republican, Democrat, back and forth shit. They're trying to fuck with your head.
Sounds about right.
Well, it's like witchcraft, basically. But you know, the term Babylon here, it's kind of like anarchy, like that rebellious nature towards the government, towards Babylon. Means confusion. Babel or Babylon means confusion. So it's like the devil keeps us, you know, and it's cool to like. I'm gonna keep on checking out this Vikings though, man. 'Cause I find it very interesting because I feel like there's a reason why the main character he spared the priest. He liked the priest.
He gets interested in his life eventually.
It's like you got a zeal. Like, why did you give up? Why did you give up all these treasures of gold and silver and go up to this book? What's so special about this book? He's like, if you respected his zeal, his faith. All right, man.
Something he figures out in the long run, he'll figure it out.
So I shout. I got the what is it, Amish or what is it, like the Amish look?
Ominous look.
The shaved mustache, the beard.
Right. Oh, you got beard going on at least.
I mean, I had it trimmed a
We're
little
gonna
bit, trimmed.
we're gonna raiding your capital eventually. Like we're two Vikings that will make it out to sea eventually.
All we have to do is turn it down, man.
Yep.
You know, that shit in the Capitol. What was that shit in the Capitol
York.
2 months ago?
York.
They raided the Capitol with
Capital
the Trump
York.
mob.
Might be York. I think so.
York.
I think so.
He's talking about York.
That's where Trump's mob was.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. So I don't know what I'm talking about. So
Just gotta follow his way around.
we'll talk about Trump's mob for a second.
When we raid battles, he follows me around.
Yes.
But yo, man, I bet you I do for tonight.
Look, man. even like a lot of people I love and care about, that I even pray with and fellowship with and read scriptures with, who are outside of my faith. You know, I have Christian friends, I have good brothers, good spiritual brothers in Christ Jesus, who I call Christians, that are my friends. You know, and I love them very much in Christ, but they're different. It's not the same. You know, it's kind of
Right.
because I say, okay, you have a divine shepherd. Let's say this. It's not blasphemous.
What?
Let's say this natural light hurricane is the shepherd. So,
Nah, it's not.
no, he's Christ, right? He's the Messiah, divine shepherd. Marshall, and all of a sudden this little,
Just a common cam.
hey, this little politician, Joe Biden or like Donald Trump, comes to you and says, hey, follow me, and it gets you kind of off the path. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I see politics.